Peach Blossom Valley, in Dongdu City. Oh, what an extraordinary and enchanting appearance! Standing out from the crowd with unmatched elegance. Miss Lien is vigorous and charming today. Lien Chilua smells almost the same as before, which means she didn't bring the Emerald Shoria Robusta fruit with her. Is she so confident that she can win me over? Well, that's fine. I don't have to seduce her anymore. In theory, the system won't deceive me. Lien Chilua indeed adores me. Miss Lien, sorry to keep you waiting. She probably isn't interested in my body or the dual cultivation method. After all, she comes from a reputable and righteous sect. Besides, the system prompt didn't show her emotion as greed. But it does seem rather coincidental that she developed a feeling of adoration for me at this particular moment. And the current situation does feel somewhat similar to when I pursued Xie Yan, except that it's reversed now. Here you are, Mr. Xie. It's very easy to abandon a woman who comes to me willingly, but still, I need to pretend to feel interested in her for a while. I have no idea if my pretending and deceiving would end up falling into her trap. It would be quite embarrassing if my attempt backfired. Although the likelihood is low, I still need to be careful and stay on guard. I see you from a distance, tending to the peach tree while burying the blossoms. Are you imitating the act as described in the elegy for the buried flowers? So, let me figure out what she is up to first. You're wrong, Mr. Xie. The author of the elegy used flowers as a metaphor for herself, burying rootless flowers while standing as a drifting waterweed outside the tomb. I, on the other hand, am caught up in worldly affairs and have no such romance. The blossoms were actually freshly plucked by me from the tree. So what is this for? Based on my experience of being pursued by women, it is likely just some flirtatious and romantic means to catch my attention. The swallows are flying, the mandarin ducks are sleeping, and the flowers and grass have all awakened. Only these little creatures underground are still sleeping. I have been keeping a hive of bees here, and I came to see how they are doing in winter. The scenery here is nice, so I thought I'd invite you along as well. Oh, keeping bees underground? Yeah, Mr. Xie, look. They are coming out. There are indeed bees. They can only build their hive underground. Being plump, they can't fly very high. Although they are excellent at pollinating the plants, they primarily stay close to their nest and don't venture far for flowers. They are confined within a small area, generation after generation. Except for this peach orchard, they didn't see any other scenery for life. This woman, I thought she would show me her dominance and intelligence, trying to conquer me with her powerful personality. I didn't expect her to adopt an artistic approach. You must have figured out my little scheme in the Fragrance Pavilion competition. I'm truly sorry for tarnishing your impression of the government in Dongdu City. The reason I invited you to join me on this outing is to explain it and make peace with you. I'm surprised that you took the initiative to bring it up. Don't worry, it's been a while and I've moved on from it. It's so kind of you, but if I don't clarify it, I'm afraid you might always think I am up to no good. It's not good officially or personally. Since you've brought it up, I will hear you out then. Is she trying to show her vulnerable side? Is she making a striking contrast? That's quite interesting. Let's talk as we walk. I promise to be your tour guide, showing you the beautiful sights in Dongdu City, so we shouldn't waste any time. I have nothing more to say about setting you up against Chui Rong. Chui Bei is the prefect while I am the deputy prefect, so we must not show any sign of alienating each other in public, no matter what happens between us in private. As for why I got you both involved, it's actually concerned with an old story. Chui Rong once kidnapped a junior disciple of our Flora sect. However, it was downplayed and forgotten, and Chui Rong did not receive any punishment. The kidnapped disciple suffered a great deal of trauma with no progress in cultivation and finally left the sect. She wasn't smart or talented. There was no need for a prefect and a deputy prefect to hold a grudge against each other because of her, and the Flora sect wouldn't bother making trouble for the son of the View sect for the sake of a normal disciple. In fact, things turned out surprisingly well. Chui Bei ended up approving proposals I had been trying to push through for a long time. Except for her, everyone else got a satisfactory outcome. I gained some benefits from it, having no firm grounds to stand on, so I could only let it go. Since there was a satisfactory outcome, why did you drag me and Yuntao into the game against Chui Rong? Because the same thing happened again. On the day when the Fragrance Pavilion competition was held, Chui Rong once again snatched our disciple in broad daylight. Luckily, I noticed it and stopped him. I angrily rebuked him a bit, but I found that scumbag had long forgotten the girl whom he ruined. This time, I didn't want to compromise. I don't think Lien Qilo is lying. I remember Cui Rong did confess about it when I took back the an. So, did she really just stand up for the disciple and deliberately go against Cui Rong? Cui Rong has great ambition but little talent, and he is only a bit talented in literature, so I just struck him hard in this aspect, crushing him and destroying the only thing he took pride in. From now on, no one will cheer him on when he attempts to compose poetry. Whenever he appears, people will only remember his embarrassing performance in the Fragrance Pavilion competition. Given Cui Rong's character, it should be even more unbearable for him than being killed. However, I never expected that Cui Rong would actually like Miss Gong's son. The way he reacted when he found out her true identity was so funny, it makes me burst into laughter every time I think of it. Haha. It was an accident. As for making use of Mr. G, it's because he is talented and good-natured. He probably wouldn't fall out with me if it worked. He's simply the best scapegoat. Well, don't tell him about my last sentence. Indeed, because he is a model of a righteous sect, so you asked me out and apologized because you think I was easily offended and would hold a grudge against you? You got me wrong. I really want to make friends with you. I'm from the florist sect with a deep appreciation for flowers and all beautiful things. Your charming look and the deadly yet captivating art of the finger of flowery swords have caught my attention. Is it normal for me to be attracted to you? And most importantly, 100 years ago, when Tingyun, the leader of the marching sect, collaborated with the ancestor of the flora sect to study techniques, mutually benefiting each other, now, 100 years later, as the successor of the finger of flowery swords, you are here in the Tang Empire and met me. Isn't this also a kind of fate? Mr. Wen knew the ancestor of your sect? Could it be that your ancestor was Mr. Wen's spirit? I'm not quite familiar with the details, but she was renowned for her beauty, and she always held deep feelings for Mr. Wen. So, I have been curious about how beautiful a man who practices the finger of flowery swords can be. Now that I have seen you, it all makes sense. If Mr. Wen was a man like you, it was only natural that she would miss him her entire life. I didn't expect you to have such a high opinion of me. It's a bit embarrassing now. Haha, I'm just telling the truth. Is she really like this in private? Is she acting or is she sincere? But it means nothing even if she is acting. It's quite normal for women to put on various shows when it comes to love. At least her thoughts and actions are consistent, which is different from Yen Ryu's duplicity. Come to think of it, Lien Qilo did suddenly change her feelings towards me after witnessing my full display of the finger of flowery swords. So did I just reap what Mr. Wentingyan sowed? Logically, it does make sense. But let me watch her a little longer. Speaking of which, how did you get your two spirits? Why are they both wearing hats? We met when traveling, we experienced things and spent some time together. When the spirits were formed, they were what they looked like when we got along with each other, and the hats were originally a must when one traveled. I see, you must have a lot of stories. Going on a journey sounds appealing. Why, have you never traveled? The situation in the Tang Empire is indeed different from that in the Han Empire. All sects are official, and in most cases, disciples are not allowed to enter the territories of other sects freely, even if it's for training. There are various rules and regulations, and we can't just leave as we want. When I was young, I was not strong enough, and I would always be turned away and confined within the sect when I attempted to venture out. As I grew older and became more powerful, I took on an official role and still couldn't leave easily. Unknowingly, I have spent more than 10 years admiring the scenery in Dongdu City. Miss Lien, you came to Dongdu City in the Tang Empire, and I'm delighted to see a glimpse of the scenery outside Dongdu City through you. Although I said I'd like to make an apology to you, upon thinking about it, I realize that what I can offer may not interest you. So, I can only try another way to impress you. Since I was born and raised here, let me show you the beauty of this place through my eyes. That's what I hope for, but I dare not to ask. At the same time, wake up. Yuntao, wake up. Humph? Master? Where am I? This is your dream. My dream, Master. You have finally mastered the technique of entering dreams. Yes, by combining the pre-celestial sleep technique of Master Chen Tuan and the soul-traveling method of the Qiming sect, I have finally created the supreme dream-entering skill. Am I amazing? Of course you are. When you came back, I was studying this skill in seclusion. The mountains and clouds here are quite wonderful. Is your dream a glimpse of the Shanghai world? Yes, it is. Unexpectedly, the Polaris would be reincarnated as one of the disciples of our Taishan sect after it was reincarnated in the Han Empire for so many years. Have you gained anything when you came back from the Shanghai world? I've learned a lot of immortal techniques and broadened my horizons greatly. Moreover, the cultivation path there seemed to be much easier than ours. I could unleash several times or even dozens of times my current strength there, which was undoubtedly an extraordinary experience. Indeed, the cultivation path in this world is harsh, making it difficult to fully unleash one's strength. It's a pity that I don't have a counterpart over there, otherwise, I could project my consciousness and take a look. Except for Polaris, no one else can use the teleportation stone from the Fanshin sect, otherwise, I could have been able to take you there. I will surely go there and meet those emperors when I reach the 9th level of the pre-celestial stage. Yuntao, did you find Emperor Polaris familiar when you saw him this time? Yes, I noticed that he looked similar to our founding ancestor in the mural of the ancestral hall. He seemed to be very concerned about our sect and asked me about the current situation of the sect. Could it be? Do you want to say that he is the founder of our Taishan sect? People from the Shanghai world should not be able to enter our world, so I'm thinking if our founder was his counterpart. It's the other way around. The other way around? Yes, there is one more thing that you need to understand. Regardless of what those alien demons may say, you must firmly believe that among all domains, this world is supreme. Among all domains, this world is supreme? However, the Shanghai world doesn't seem inferior to ours. Though I might be able to fight those true immortals, I would be completely no match for celestial immortals and golden immortals. Not to mention the stronger immortal Tai and immortal Daluo, and the strongest 4 emperors, who are likely to be at the 9th level of the pre-celestial stage at least. No matter how strong they are, it's ultimately their illusion. However, once you admit that they are stronger, the illusion may become a reality. Whether it is Buddhism or Taoism, the various cultivation methods of different sects relating to immortals, demons, and deities are merely different aspects of the cultivation path in this world. It's substantially different from that of the personified alien demons. Buddhism speaks of the universal consciousness, and Confucianism speaks of transcending the material world. We Taoists may not fully agree with them, but I do recognize that they both have some truth. The consequence of turning illusions into reality is that the cultivation path of this world will be usurped by those alien demons. They will weaken our foundations and benefit themselves at our expense. That is why, apart from a few exceptional sects with unique cultivation methods, most major sects and forces rarely disclose information about the alien realms to disciples below the 4th level of the pre-celestial stage. Their understanding is limited, so they will easily be influenced. I understand, but before this I've already. It doesn't matter much. What truly sustains this world is not you guys at the moment, but it will eventually belong to you. Your understanding is important, but it's not that important. It's not too late to embrace the belief that among all domains, this world is supreme from now on. My wife is calling for me outside. Yuntao, you are after Elder Moro in the Tang Empire, right? Why are you so persistent in it? Yes, I heard that there was someone called Ancestor Moro in the Shanghai world, who reigned over numerous worlds and fought the 4 emperors for hundreds of thousands of years. Upon returning, I heard of the title Elder Moro, so I am trying to find out the possible connections between them. Tens of thousands of years passed just like that. Time in these worlds does not hold value. In that case, regardless of whether you can capture Elder Moro or not, don't come back to the Han Empire for now. I will discuss the matter of the Polaris with the Imperial family and make a plan before telling you to return. Sure, I will do as you ask. Illusion? It's the first time that I've been a tour guide for so long. I'm wondering if the arrangement is appropriate, and if you feel bored. How can it be? It's always interesting no matter what I do when being able to stay with a beauty like you alone. Well, judging by your fluent tone, I believe you have uttered such words to more than just me. You are quite a popular man. As today comes to a close, I would like to take you to the final place. It's my secret garden, Mr. Xie. Would you like to come? Humph? The South Temple at the foot of the mountain, the sub-branch of Rosefinch Temple in Dongdu City. Is your secret garden located at the foot of the mountain near the South Temple, the sub-branch of Rosefinch Temple? That's quite covert. Haha, then no one would associate me with it. Am I clever? The South Temple discovered the wild Buddhist Adumbra flower on the mountainside. I was asked to cultivate it in larger numbers, and in doing so, I discovered this hidden place. Since the Buddhist adumbra flower is very delicate, I often come here to maintain it without arousing any suspicion. It's beautiful. When I was initially cultivating and transplanting them, out of the 10 plants, only one survived, and I almost cried. However, seeing them now thriving and flourishing, and hearing your praise, I feel that my efforts were not in vain after all. Here we are, there it is. The crack is quite noticeable. Has no one else ever noticed it before? For example, those monks on the mountain? Well, after successfully transplanting the Buddhist adumbra flower, I had a negotiation with the abbot of Rosefinch Temple and the leader of the South Temple, and as a result, this place now belongs to me. You're quite capable of being able to secure a piece of land from the sub-branch of Rosefinch Temple. Haha, it's not as complicated as you think. I simply move the water source that irrigates the Buddhist adumbra flowers to a deeper part of the crack, ensuring that it won't be accidentally cut off by others. This way, I can come here under the guise of maintenance from time to time. Since it's your secret garden, do you prefer a dark and quiet environment? I do prefer a quiet environment in private because there is always noise and commotion in my daily life. As for darkness, it gives a nice contrast to another thing. What is it? Most of the stone walls are made of quartz, and even the slightest trace of light can make them shimmer and create a wonderful spectacle. Whenever I'm in a very good or bad mood, I like to come here and catch a handful of fireflies, watching their bioluminescence in the darkness. When they fly away, it becomes dark and quiet again, as if the world has disappeared, and the stillness and emptiness, it feels as if I am the only one remaining, free to go anywhere. Confined within these walls, I can only rely on delusional thoughts to relieve loneliness and depression. Miss Lien? As the deputy prefect, I sympathize with the people and maintain integrity in my official duties. As the deputy leader of the sect, I teach and guide the disciples, and care for them. No one can say that I have done something wrong. However, I'm too exhausted, whether it's my monotonous life or the unchanging people around me. My life is like stagnant water, which has long dried up. Mr. Xie, why don't you elope with me? Let's escape from Dongdu's city and the Flora sect and become a free couple. Miss Lien. Are you serious? Ha! I was joking, did I scare you? It's really over now. Her emotions and actions have always been consistent. I haven't seen any malice in her during this entire time. There is not even a hint of greed in her emotions. Lien Qiluo, I'm starting to wonder whether you truly have fallen in love with me or if you have ulterior motives. I find myself uncertain at this moment. Master, I've confirmed the specific location of the treasure. It should be a good time for both of us today, otherwise Mr. Xie wouldn't say he would give me something in return and ask me to wait for a while. I feel like I'm floating on clouds, my heart is like drifting snowflakes, only a wisp of fragrance lingers here. I long for the return of a beloved man. I am wondering what kind of gift he will give me. Branch of Flora sect. Why hasn't Miss Lien come back yet? That means the date is going well, which is good. Demonic art of Moro, sealing senses. I think I had a brief blackout just now. Me too. Gosh. It's a sign that our energy and vitality are seriously depleted. It looks like we were severely injured by that messenger earlier. I swear, I won't let the immortal sky get away with it. Qinger said one of the gleams of treasures disappeared when she got here. I guess it was because Lien Qiluo took one of the treasures away. The remaining one is in this room that she couldn't enter. Turns out there is a restriction here, which even prevents ghosts from entering. Demonic art of Moro, evil blaze of Rosefinch. However, it can't stop me. No restrictions can survive the evil blaze of Rosefinch. Demonic art of Moro, touch desire searching. I don't feel anything particularly special here. Is the emerald shoria robusta fruit not a rare item? Or does it conceal its true power? Since I can't accurately locate it through the breath-seeking of the smell desire branch, I should search for it on the map. I'm sure I will find it eventually. Humph? There's a crack and some space below. Oh, this must be a secret chamber that Lien Qiluo used for secluded cultivation. Touch desire searching. Got it. Apart from this thing, nothing else here resembles the emerald shoria robusta fruit in terms of its shape and texture. Oh? What is this? Lien Qiluo made a dating plan. Some make up notes, and at 1:15 noon, I'll meet him in the Peach Blossom Valley, drifting down the river, passing through the Tongji Canal, and wandering on the Egret Shoal. Mr. Xie is carefree, so it's best not to be overbearing. To avoid displeasing him, I need to let things happen naturally. The Emerald Shoria robusta fruit will be helpful, but if I use it, he will definitely be happy if he finds it out. I should drop this idea. Is this her notebook where she recorded how to please me and win my favor? I guess I'm not the kind of girl Mr. Xie likes. I only hope that we will treat each other sincerely. I'll let him get to know the real me. I don't seek a long-lasting relationship but a chance to let go of our past grievances. Let's be true friends. When my heart beats for you and yours for mine, that's when we take our relationship to the next level. Her behavior can be fake, and so are her emotions, but she couldn't anticipate that I would see these things. Could it be that she really likes me? I targeted Lian Qiluo because I thought that she had ulterior motives, so I didn't feel guilty about deceiving her. If she truly only adores me, then abandoning her would make me no better than those losers from the heavenly evil sect. Oh, there is still a difference. I not only deceived her but also took things from her. That's even worse. That's it. It's truly a test of my conscience to harm an innocent girl, especially when she has feelings for me. But I've already completed the ritual of the pleasing method. If I give it up now, where else can I find a new target? I can still find someone suitable if I take the initiative. But it will take time, maybe a week or two. If I can't complete the pleasing method, the devil will keep a close eye on me, and it feels really disgusting. Let it be. It's not like I'll lose anything, that's it. As a man, I should act decisively, let go of Lian Qiluo and take the Emerald Shoria robusta fruit. There are no other fruits around, so this must be it. Isn't it said that it smells amazing? But why can't I smell anything? Humph. I see. The Emerald Shoria robusta fruit works by letting the human body constantly produce pheromones similar to the ones animals release when they're trying to attract a mate. What a lethal weapon it is! It's terrifying. No way. I can't take it out with me. I was being careless. Thank goodness for the pot. It helped me cut off the connection forcefully. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to make it out of the Flora sect. Demonic art of Moro's breathtaking of the smell desire branch. It's done. I'll go back and turn down Lian Qiluo's love confession politely, and then I'll look for other ways to reach the beginner's level of the heavenly evil scripture. Maybe I should try the method of the insatiable greed? Are there love letters that Lian Qiluo wrote to me on the table? Let me take a look. May I be like a star, and you like the moon, shining brightly together every night, to Mr. Wen. It's not for me. Wait, Mr. Wen, Mr. Wen? This must be the exchange of letters between Mr. Wen Tingyun and that predecessor from the Flora sect. Maybe I can find the inspiration for the stories of the flowery anecdotes. I can't miss out on the gossip about the esteemed predecessors. Let me take a look. Turns out this predecessor from the Flora sect was Ruo Shihua. This letter was her way of thanking Mr. Wen for saving her. The writing was elegant with passionate emotions, just like Lian Qiluo's style. And then, Mr. Wen replied, "It should be this one. My longing for you is like the dent on the dice, deep to the bone." Do you know it, Mr. Wen? Oh, it's so cheesy. But I like it. I would rather die 1,000 times or have my wings broken than part with you. Mr. Wen truly lived up to his reputation as the founder of the Finger of Flowery Swords. With all these flirtatious techniques at his disposal, there's nothing he can't do. No wonder Miss Ruo fell for him so soon. I find my gown too large, but I will not regret it. It's worth becoming gaunt out of my longing for you. And Lian Qiluo truly admires the love story between Mr. Wen and Miss Ruo. Lian Qiluo collected not only their letters, but also various gifts exchanged between the two. When we meet on Valentine's Day for once, it's like we have dated 1,000 times. Well, it doesn't make sense. It's understandable that Mr. Wen's gifts were found here. But how did Miss Ruo's gifts for Mr. Wen also end up here? Let me find out the reason. These are the last few books. It seems to be a collection of poems and verses that Miss Ruo wrote for Mr. Wen. The drizzle has blurred the bright spring scenery, the grass has grown year after year, as well as the hatred. You, the indifferent one, have not returned, and I wait for you with the door half closed, from dawn until dusk, with no one watching the sunset with me. I couldn't help but shed tears of longing. Why is the tone of this different from the previous ones? What's going on? Now you've easily changed your mind. Yet you claim that lovers are prone to be fickle. Two kinds of grass remained entwined, difficult to separate. Compared to them, humans weren't as steadfast as them. Love should be as pure as the snow on the mountain and as bright as the moon amidst the clouds. I've heard that you have someone else on your mind, so I've decided to break up with you. This poetry collection came after they had been together for some time. But why are all the poems focused on describing heartless and unfaithful people? Did they not have a happy ending? This is such a strong hatred. Miss Aryo was incredibly powerful. Just the words written on these pages could cause me to have illusions after 100 years. Something is not right. There is no way that Mr. Wen and Miss Aryo had a happy ending. Lian Qiluo cannot possibly yearn for this kind of twisted relationship between them. What exactly does Lian Qiluo want to do? What does she want from me? I almost fell for her tricks. Are all the women from the Flora sect this scary? Two kinds of grass remained entwined, difficult to separate. Compared to them, humans weren't as steadfast as them. Oh, so that's what happened. I thought I was fortunate to be blessed by my ancestor, but it turns out it's just karma coming back to bite me. The sins committed by him almost made me suffer the consequences. Mr. Wen, you've caused me so much trouble. According to their letters and the records about Aryuo Shihua and the Flora sect, it seems that they eventually broke up. After that, Aryuo Shihua cultivated in seclusion for 30 years. After achieving great martial arts, she ended her seclusion and tried to find Mr. Wen, but he had disappeared. She had been forgotten as a well-known beauty since she disappeared for 30 years. If it weren't for her leaving behind a unique cultivation method, the Flora sect probably wouldn't have kept so many records about her. The cultivation method mantra of Cuscuta allows cultivators to produce a special thing called the Cuscuta seed within their bodies. Once activated by the successors of the finger of flowery swords, it releases certain pheromones that hypnotize the cultivators, making them fall in love and willingly offer endless affection. Aryuo Shihua knew well about the secrets of the successors of the finger of flowery swords. She knew they wouldn't resist any women who threw themselves to them. Once a man falls for it, even if just for a split second, the smell of beauties of the Cuscuta seed will infiltrate, parasitically attaching to the man who practices the finger of flowery swords. After that, the man's body will be quietly replaced. Then the cultivators of mantra of Cuscuta can decide whether to snatch or kill the sword spirits, and the successors of the finger of flowery swords can never summon their sword's spirit anymore. The craziest part is that the successors of the finger of flowery swords who suffer it wouldn't experience any negative emotions. They would continue to love the cultivator of the mantra of Cuscuta unconditionally. It's no different from someone who is inserted with a heart trigger. Fortunately, I always remained cautious of Lian Qiluo. Even though I was briefly tempted, it only resulted in a slight sense of guilt and reluctance. I never once felt genuine affection for her, otherwise, I might have fallen into her trap. It's both pitiful and terrifying how far a woman can go for love. Aryuo Shihua wanted to destroy Mr. Wen's spirit, but he vanished, so she passed on her skills to disciples of the Flora sect to continue targeting Mr. Wen's successors. However, it took 100 years for someone like me to finally emerge. Judging from the annotations in the mantra of Cuscuta, this cultivation method has significant limitations. It's powerful yet unpractical, and also too demonic. Which was why previous leaders of the Flora sect didn't like it. They allowed it to be kept out of respect for Aryuo Shihua. After Lian Qiluo reached the pre-celestial stage and took the position as the deputy leader of the branch of Flora sect in Dongdu City, she practiced this technique out of sheer boredom. At that time, she didn't even pay much attention to it. Otherwise, she wouldn't have bothered to study it again and make annotations. I exerted the finger of flowery swords with all my strength, and thus the Cuscuta seed was activated within Lian Qiluo. Her admiration towards me is merely a result of my technique. She might be bewildered as well, so she went back to trace the origins of Aryuo Shihua's story. And then she discovered the big surprise left behind by her senior. Charming jade child Xie Yan is at the 3rd level of the pre-celestial stage with 2 or 3 spirits. That's not bad. My heart races. And I'm worried so much. The effect of this technique is truly remarkable. However, there were not any successful cases after it was created, so how effective it is actually remains uncertain. If it works, it will bring great rewards. And even if it fails, it will leave behind a romantic tale for killing time. The pros outweigh the cons, so maybe it's worth a shot. In this case, I'd better let go of the suppression of the Cuscuta seed and put my heart and soul into the game. Now, it seems that even if I hadn't approached her for cultivating the heavenly evil scripture, Lian Qiluo would have come to seduce me sooner or later. What's it now? Is it just dumb luck? Alright, I don't have any burdens now, since I've seen through her tricks. It's my turn next, game on. Mr. Xie, you're back, I've been waiting for you. Do you believe me? Humph? I have a gift for you. If you trust me, please take off the treasure you are wearing that can resist mental attacks and then close your eyes. Haha, are you going to sing the sound of Cloud Palace for me alone? No, I'm going to tell you a story. Oh, what story? You will surely like it. Now open your eyes. This is Ulu River. Ahem, we finally came to the Ulu River at the border between the two empires after such a long walk. Look, it's monkey rain again. There is no major sect in Luzong town, so this Sky Star Tea House took the lead in making a deal with the monkeys to help fight against crime and evil. Over time, it has become a local spectacle. I was just startled when I first arrived here. I can't believe it. Well, weren't you going to tell me a story? Why? What I'm about to tell you is the legendary tale of Xie Yan, charming jade child, and Lian Qiluo, the deputy leader of the Flora sect, as they joined hands to wander around the Han Empire. Miss Lian, would you be interested in hearing this story? Join hands to wander around the Han Empire? No wonder you asked me to put away my hidden heart hairpin, and now I understand why. Since you can't leave Dongdu City, I can only use this way to please you. I hope you won't mind that it is merely an illusion. Though it may be an illusion, the memories of you and me are real. I will always cherish this journey we've had. Mr. Xie, take me with you. Okay, come with me. The Sky Star Tea House in Luzong town may look shabby, but it's actually a Jianghu entertainment hall in the Han Empire, where you can eat, drink, and play. It's just as funny as the Dream House and the Yearning House. Let me take you to Jiaohu City first. Jianghu Entertainment Hall, Jiaohu City. The Boat Party, Jiangling City. Buddhist Debating, Luoyang City. Ye Ruins. Miss Lian. Have you woken up? Do you like this story? Yes, I like it very much. In your story, I am not a deputy prefect or a deputy leader of a sect, I'm just Lian Qiluo, a real and simple Lian Qiluo. But I was truly happy and moved. Mr. Xie, you are the first man to make me so happy. Maybe I will never have such happy memories in the future, Mr. Xie Yan. I like you? Haha, that's quite awkward. I shouldn't have brought it up at this particular moment. Sorry about this. You like me? Really? Of course I do. When we meet on Valentine's Day for once, it's like we have dated 1,000 times. I'm rooted to my hometown, while you're a wanderer in the martial world. Even if our time together is short, I am already content if we can share moments of joy and happiness. Would you like to do it? Miss Lian. So is this what you think? If so, I need to respond to you properly. I like you too. I don't need our love to last forever. I only hope to have you once in my life. Xie Yan. I'm so happy. Humph, me too. The light-colored clouds transform into various patterns in the sky, and the shooting stars in the sky convey sorrow and longing. I quietly cross the distant and boundless Milky Way to meet you tonight. When we meet on Valentine's Day for once, it's like we have dated 1,000 times. Our tender love is like flowing water. This date is like a dream, elusive and illusory. When we part ways, we can't help but look back at each other. If love between us can last forever, why do we have to crave for short joy and happiness? Xie Yan, what's wrong? I'm sorry, but I tried. I was thinking of accepting your love and falling in love with you, but I really can't convince myself. I'm now already feeling a little unwell. I don't get it, Xie Yan. No, don't call me that. There are a few words that I actually wanted to say when I just saw you today. I don't mean to hurt you, but I can't bear it anymore. What do you want to say? There has been a rumor going around in the martial world about me liking middle-aged women, which may have led to some misunderstandings. I am in the prime of my youth. How could I possibly prefer middle-aged women? One should like someone who's around his own age, wearing pink clothes to pretend to be young. So how old are you now? Don't act all innocent when you're not that young anymore. You're young. No, you're actually quite old, which makes me feel disgusted. I apologize for being straightforward, but I need to make you see the truth and prevent you from going down the wrong path. It's for your own good. You, Miss Lian, take my sincere advice. It would be better for you to date someone older. You can't handle someone young and lively like me. Let's part ways and keep our distance. I gotta go. You. Don't leave me, Xie Yan, come back. Ah. He's never had feelings for me the whole time. The mantra of Cuscuta has completely failed. How dare he play tricks on me? Those who cultivate the finger of flowery swords are indeed not good guys. Xie Yan, you better not get nailed by me, or I will make you suffer more humiliation like what you brought upon me today. 30 minutes later. Lian Qilua seems to have gone mad. Could it be because she didn't win my affection and ended up being affected by the backlash of her cultivation method? No wonder she didn't catch up to beat me. However, even if she tries to use the official power of the Tang Empire for revenge, Cui Bei won't let her abuse her power. Besides, it's not a decent personal matter for her. I'll just stay away from her from now on. I have to say, the Tang Empire's system is pretty lenient. I'm not afraid that she would take revenge on me. If she really wants to cause me trouble, I will just pull her into the pot and do the same thing to her as I did to Mr. Zhou. Finally, it's time to settle things with the devil. The moment I said goodbye to Lian Qilua, except for negative emotions, I could sense a strong force coming from her. I couldn't tell whether it was an evil thought or resentment. Anyway, my demonic art of Moro didn't respond. It should be the last sacrificial offering needed to completely meet the requirements of the pleasing method. As long as I present this offering to the devil, I will reach the beginner's level of the heavenly evil scripture. Haha, after all the hard work, I finally reached the beginner's level of the heavenly evil scripture. After reaching the beginner's level, an additional seed of the devil appeared in my internal power pool. It intermittently forms evil thoughts, which can be refined into the devil's internal power, however. The evil thoughts formed by the heavenly evil scripture at the beginner's level were taken by the demonic art of Moro before they could even have a chance to be refined into the devil's internal power. Normally, even if I reach the beginner's level of the heavenly evil scripture, I can't cultivate it at all because of the existence of the demonic art of Moro. Fortunately, I have the system, so I don't need to cultivate it on my own. All I need to do is just to gain the origin points. But getting origin points isn't easy for me. Even if 10,000 people provide extreme emotions remotely to me 10 times a day for various reasons, I can only gather 1 origin point a day. If ordinary people do it 10 times a day, they will collapse. With a total population of fewer than 1 million people, it's almost meaningless to gain remote origin points. Judging from the current influence of the immortal sky in the main world, I still have a long way to go. The relatively fast way is to get the origin points closely. If 5,000 people nearby continuously provide me with extreme emotions 10 times, I can quickly gather 500 origin points. However, it's not easy to do that. Even when I performed in the Fragrance Pavilion, there might not be 5,000 audiences. So from a standpoint of reasonable distribution, it's fine to put the heavenly evil scripture aside for now but focus on upgrading the finger of flowery swords, the demonic art of Moro, or swordsmanship of 5 elements to level 6. Anyway, I could reach the beginner's level so fast, which proved my incredible skill in cultivating evil thoughts. Then Gong Sun Hao will have no problem with me cultivating the heavenly evil scripture, and he won't think he'll get me hurt. Humph? Oh no, the demonic art of Moro has sucked up all the evil thoughts, and now it even started to devour the seed of the devil forcefully. If this continues, my offense against Lian Qilua will be in vain, and my level of the heavenly evil scripture will go back to not started. My level of the heavenly evil scripture is so low that it can't withstand being absorbed by the demonic art of Moro. Forget it, I have to level up the heavenly evil scripture, upgrade it. This skill is extremely incompatible with the host. Forcefully practicing it will distort the host's true nature, and each advancement requires more origin points to shield against the adverse effects. This warning is exactly the same as the one with the demonic art of Agad tribulations back then. Incompatible with the host. Doesn't Gong Sun Hao behave normally after he masters the skill? I don't care if it requires more origin points, I've got enough of them, just upgrade it to level 5 directly. Due to inadequate conditions, further advancement is unattainable. I'm stuck at level 4. I almost forgot that reaching the 4th level of the pre-celestial stage in the main world is a big deal, so specific conditions are needed to continue to upgrade. The demonic art of Moro is still absorbing, and it's getting faster. With this speed, it may make the heavenly evil scripture drop back to level 0 in just 3 to 5 minutes, but as expected, level 4 is still not enough to withstand the demonic art of Moro. I have to make it to level 5. However, I have no idea what conditions I need to meet. Are these two techniques against each other or what? Do they have to compete? The heavenly evil scripture and the demonic art of Moro can be integrated. Do you want to integrate them? What the heck, they can be integrated. Why the beep didn't you tell me earlier? If you told me when I reached the beginner's level of the heavenly evil scripture, I wouldn't have to deal with all this trouble. Of course, it costs me too much. The heavenly evil scripture is both deceitful and expensive. Evolution started. Skill name: Heavenly Evil Scripture. The integration of the Heavenly Evil Scripture and the demonic art of Moro will count slime 500 origin points. Skill name: Demonic Art of Moro. Very good. The evil manifestation of the devil is something that only comes with level 5 of the Heavenly Evil Scripture. Surprisingly, it appeared automatically after the integration. However, why did the total amount of the internal power triple instead of quintupling? Does it not compare the amount of my internal power with those of the others this time? Perhaps my foundation of the demonic art of Moro was too strong? Well, it doesn't matter as long as I know it's awesome, especially now, with the automatic generation of evil thoughts at any given moment. The blazing thoughts constantly arise. I don't need to try to get evil thoughts from innocent people like before. It's much more convenient and efficient now. After I have the evil manifestation of the devil, the evil thoughts should multiply, and the blazing thoughts will even arise faster. Let me give it a try. I want to see what my evil manifestation of the devil looks like. Demonic Art of Moro, the evil manifestation of the devil, King Kinara. Wow, the internal power is so abundant, it feels incredible. In the past, I could only experience this sensation after tripling the mind fire. Not only that, even though I used the mind fire and my total internal power doubled, it was limited by the maximum output of internal power techniques, so it only helped me live longer, nothing else. However, the evil manifestation of King Kinara derived from the heavenly evil scripture is different. It not only possesses evil traits and an enormous amount of internal power, but there's also no cap on its maximum output. It all depends on the total amount of my internal power. I can unleash all of my internal power with a single move if I want to. And on top of that, it regains its power so fast. Now I understand why Cui Hongyu loves to hit people with a blast of evil wind on their faces. With the ability to overpower 10 foes with a single blow, who the hell needs fancy techniques and moves anymore? 1 minute later. The evil energy is incredibly intense. The whole area within 3 miles around is utterly devastated. Did a master from the heavenly evil sect fight here? The lingering aura is at the 3rd level of the pre-celestial stage. But even Cui Hongyu might not be able to unleash such intense evil energy. When did the heavenly evil sect have such a powerful figure? Number 1 Scholar of Flower Festival is coming, and things are getting more and more unstable in Dongdu City. I'm back, but my master is still out there, pretending to be from the heavenly evil sect and causing trouble by trying out his new technique. It's so boring. I'm going to play with Xie Yan. Pavilion in the backyard of Grandeur Restaurant. There you are, Ran. I've been looking for you. Huh! You are back. Isn't she? The good ghost that Monk Excellence saved? Why are you hiding? They are all nice monks, and they won't exorcise you. The branch of the Flora sect. That's what happened. When we noticed that the barriers outside your bedroom were gone, there was nothing left there. Even the secret chamber where you usually meditate was completely empty. The intruder who broke into your room left a note, claiming to be a fervent admirer who just couldn't hold back his love for you. So he took some of your belongings without permission to ease his lovesickness. He hoped you could remember him as a lady killer. A lady killer? What a disgusting beepstard. Men really can't be trusted. Huazang, Zhanghua, give out an arrest warrant for him. We must hunt down this lady killer even if we have to search the entire Tang Empire. Oh, not bad. At high tide, Jie River? You want me to take care of Qinger? She can stay with me. But do you really not need me to inform Rosefinch Temple or Huanqi sect about it? Monk Excellence. No, the venomous technique has invaded my body, and there is nothing I can do about it. It won't be long before I relinquish my power and pass away. Despite being a member of the Huanqi sect, I spent my entire life as a monk, bound by strict rules, and yet I couldn't resist my feelings for you. I either did well as Qin Wuk nor Monk Excellence. My life has been utterly absurd. I never followed the call of my heart. Now that the truth has been revealed, I have no chance for redemption, but at least I have shed the chains and stopped pretending or deceiving others and myself. Like the rising and setting of the sun and the ebb and flow of the river, our fate is predetermined. Just like the course of nature, I have repaid all my karmic debts, and now I am free. Did you hear the thundering roar? That's the sound of the tide in Xie River. It's so magnificent. Yes, there are 2 major tides in Xie River each year, and today marks the biggest one. During my travels around the world, I met a venerable monk who shared a verse with me. Clinging to someone whose surname is Xie, feeling sad when having a happy moment, passing away when listening to the tide, and embracing solitude after the departure. The first half of the verse has already come true, and now it's time for the second half. I never bothered doing anything good in my whole life, just enjoyed killing and causing trouble. But now, out of nowhere, the chains are broken, and the locks are shattered. Well, as the tide surges on Xie River, today is the day I finally become my true self. Chinger, the light is so bright. That is Sakyamuni? I am fine. I don't feel pain when I hear the monk's voice. Is Monk Excellence chanting? Why does it not sound like that? When I attain Buddhahood, may there be no hell, hungry ghosts, or beasts on the land. If this wish cannot be fulfilled, I will not attain Buddhahood. When I at Buddhahood, may all beings in the world have bodies of pure gold. If this wish cannot be fulfilled, I will not attain Buddhahood. When I attain Buddhahood, may all beings on the land understand their own and others' destinies. At the very least, may they be aware of the events that will occur in the future. If this wish cannot be fulfilled, I will not attain Buddhahood. When I attain Buddhahood, may all beings on the land possess the divine feat of transportation. At the very least, may they be able to fly and travel beyond the realms of countless Buddhas and worlds in the blink of an eye. If this wish cannot be fulfilled, I will not attain Buddhahood. When I attain Buddhahood, may all beings on the land be free from separation and experience the tranquility of their senses. If there is anyone who cannot decide to become enlightened and attain the great nirvana, I will not attain Buddhahood. With the sincere aspiration to bring salvation to all beings, I cultivate the altruistic mind of Bodhisattva without seeking personal attainment of the supreme path. May all beings be freed from suffering and experience ultimate bliss, and may they swiftly attain enlightenment. Amitabha. Amitabha. Boo-hoo, please don't go. Chinger. After Monk Excellence finished reciting that Buddhist-like scripture, he underwent a profound transformation, ascending into the magnificent celestial abyss alongside countless Buddhas and disappearing from the world. That's what happened after I met him. Please don't blame me for concealing this matter. After all, his identity was special. He didn't wish to trouble you all after he passed away, so I didn't contact you. I don't know much about Buddhism, but what happened to him can be regarded as a miracle. So I guess that was a good ending, right? Boo-hoo, although the monk is gone, he's always alive in my heart. I was in the middle of causing trouble when Chinger called me back out of the blue. The issue about Monk Excellence and Rosefinch Temple is finally revealed. Lucky for me, I was prepared and had already made up a story for them. Since there's no way to prove anything, I might as well give Monk Excellence some extra credit and give him a good ending. The last part about countless Buddhas descending from the sky may be exaggerated, but I've seen similar visions mentioned in Buddhist scriptures about enlightened individuals passing away, with visions of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas guiding them. But Monk Excellence was something else, bringing in Mahayana Buddhism. So, it was only fitting that he got the grand treatment of countless Buddhas guiding him. It's only after highly respected monks pass away that all kinds of wonderful visions happen in the world. There is a vision of the Buddha guiding him, which means he's achieved the status of an arhat. As the tide surges on Xie River, today is the day I finally become my true self. It seems that Monk Excellence did let go of everything. But you bade farewell to him by Xie River? That's quite far from the Xie ruins, considering he was seriously injured. Maybe it was his way to fulfill the verse that the venerable monk gave him. Actually, I just wanted to quote a famous verse from a monk in the novel. It's a pity that we have no clue who that venerable monk really was and how he came up with such a profound verse from Monk Excellence. Mr. Xie, did he tell you who that venerable monk was? No, he just briefly mentioned him without going into too much detail. The main point here isn't about that, it's about him letting it go and achieving enlightenment. It's not just a simple act, he made a great vow in the end, and this is the realization of a profound aspiration. I've never heard of anything like it before. But it's clear that he had a deep understanding of himself and broke free from the whole cause and effect cycle. No, the Buddhism he practiced was different, and he didn't leave behind a physical relic or remains, and haven't you noticed it? His final great vow was not about seeking his liberation but about liberating others. Qing Jing, Deputy Abbot of Rosefinch Temple, at the STH level of the pre-celestial stage. Mr. Xie, you mentioned earlier that countless Buddhas came to receive monk excellence. I'd like to ask, what did those countless Buddhas look like? Their radiance was so magnificent that I didn't dare to look closely. All I saw was the bumps on their heads, like small topknots, and a halo behind their heads. I cannot recall their exact facial features now. The bumps and grand halo are the features of Buddhas. Indeed, there were countless Buddhas. The technique monk excellence practiced was for everyone to become a Buddha. Through ascending, he validated the path he took. He chanted Amitabha at the end. Could it be that he attained the position of a Buddha instead of an Arhat? A new Buddha? Cheng Jing, if his technique was validated, wouldn't it be? Amitabha, saving all beings, everyone can become Buddhas. Monk excellence alone found a new path for Buddhist cultivation. Even if one can add enlightenment by saving others, hasn't he done it yet? That's why he made a great vow. Could it be that one must make a great vow to achieve enlightenment on his path? I didn't say anything, it's all your interpretation. However, if I stand before them, pretending to be monk excellence at this moment, I will definitely obtain a large number of origin points. Unfortunately, I dare not. There is always a chance to seek monk excellence's path. Right now, Kongming is at the South Temple. You should inform him about this matter first. Indeed, as monk excellence's master, Kongming has already taken so much trouble for him, it's time to put an end to it. Thank you for solving our doubts, Mr. Xie. Well, I never intended to reveal it, but somehow you came across Qinger and learned about it. It's all just fate. Are you leaving? Then. By the way, about Qinger, since monk excellence has attained enlightenment and detached from the world, we Rosefinch Temple can't leave Qinger alone. Eh? Huh. Mr. Xie, thank you for taking care of her during these days. From now on, we will take on the responsibility and continue looking after her on behalf of monk excellence. Qinger, don't be afraid. We may not be experts in Buddhism, but Rosefinch Temple has many talented individuals who will surely help you get salvation for your soul smoothly. Well, you're like monk excellence's orphan. Don't worry, we will take good care of you. No, monk excellence said that Master Xie Yan's Buddha nature is just as good as his own. I can only attain true Buddhahood by following him, or I may even ascend. Mr. Xie has a Buddha nature? Mr. Xie's Buddha nature is as good as monk excellence's? She can ascend by following Mr. Xie? I don't fully understand concepts like the Buddha nature, but I could have a good talk with monk excellence. Qinger's flattery couldn't have come at a better time. Those 3 monks almost took her away. Alright, since monk excellence asked you to take care of her, there must be a reason for it. The 3 of you can just go back. Cheng Jing? Everyone can become a Buddha. It is a whole new concept. We haven't even learned how to guide people, so how can we guide ghosts? Let's not put Qinger in danger and let her stay with Mr. Xie. Didn't you say Qinger is your guardian spirit? Turns out you were trusted to take care of her. Well, she seems genuinely happy with you without any resentment. Who knows, she may even become a Buddha when having a great time someday. Don't worry too much. Amitabha, since monk excellence trusted you and Qing Jing and Miss Xie said so, we won't make it difficult for Qinger. We'll head back to South Temple now. Take care. How many times do I have to say it? I've long practiced Buddhism, so please stop calling me Miss Xie like that blind monk. Haha, practicing Buddhism is a gradual process. It's not just about completing a ritual. Miss Xie, take it easy. Humph. Now that monk excellence's matter is settled, would you like to continue our game of Go?